Do you think you'd sell more, grow faster, and even change lives if you put words in the right order? Because that's exactly what a great hook does. It stops the scroll, it grabs attention, and it makes people need to hear what you say next. And in the next 60 minutes or so, I'm going to show you how to write hooks so powerful that ignoring you becomes almost impossible. Let's dive in. So if you've ever been on a plane, you probably know what the safety demonstration is. The whole crew stands up, they make you turn off your earphones, turn off the lights, whatever it is, and they show you where the nearest exits are, how to buckle your seatbelt, go here and here. All right, so that's what they do. And no one pays attention. Why? Because it's super boring, and if you were on planes a lot, we've seen it 1,000 times. And we know we're probably not going to crash, so we tune it out. But I've actually seen people pay attention to this. Actually, while I was starting to work on this course, oh my gosh, I've been working on this so long, man. Months ago, I was at the airport and I was working on this presentation, shut my laptop, got on the plane, and a flight attendant, she got up on the loudspeaker and she goes, "Did anyone drop this?" And every single head in the plane shot up. Like half a second, just whoosh, hundreds of heads, all paying attention to her. And for the first time ever, all these people were paying attention to the safety demonstration. Every single one of them had eyes on her. Why? She made it relevant. She made it quick. She gave it consequences. What could I be missing? What bad thing is about to happen to me because I lost my phone or my wallet or, God forbid, my child, right? Those are all things that could have happened. They all run through your head. You would analyze all the possible problems and you go, oh, what is it? All right. Now, what we'll talk about later is what she did wrong after that. She got our attention, but she didn't do it perfectly, right? So for now, know that she did the hardest part. She got people to notice her. And in today's world, that's already 80% of the battle. So before we talk about what she did wrong, let's talk about why everything needs a hook. We have shorter attention spans than ever. We have more demands on our attention than ever. So being able to capture attention is the prime skill that any marketer or any copywriter can have. And here are the things you're going to learn today. They're going to help you do that. First of all, you're going to learn how the right kind of prejudice can make you a lot of money. You're going to learn headline strategies and templates that never fail to grab attention, the magic headline formula that creates irresistible offers, and the best opening lines, headlines, and hooks in history and what we can steal from them. Let's jump in. All right, so in the first episode, if you've been with us since the first episode, this is a 21 episode course. You're on number 3. Go back and watch from the beginning if you're just jumping in here. But here we go. I'll go over everything again, at least lightly. So Aristotle says in rhetoric, headlines should excite or remove prejudice. And I think he said like opening lines or something like that. So I replaced that. So headlines should excite or remove prejudice. So what does that mean practically? Does that mean that you should be prejudiced? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you that people always have thoughts and feelings about something before you talk about it. And you need to take advantage of that when you write a headline or a subject line. You need to grab your reader's attention, get them to read the next line, and set relevant expectations for what comes next. Those are the 3 steps that you have to follow. Now, this is something that PewDiePie does a lot. I talked about it the other day. This guy is really good at the bold open. What is it called? The provocative, provocative opening. PewDiePie, man, this guy, he knows how to grab readers' attention. You all have to click in and say, wait, why are you deleting your channel? Why is it time to leave? Why you quit? Why did you quit BuzzFeed? Just over and over and over. This guy's quitting left and right, and yet he's still one of the most popular YouTubers in the world. So what does that mean practically? You have to determine what promise you're making, and if you're confident you can deliver on that. If you're saying you're deleting your channel or quitting or whatever it might be, you better be prepared to back it up. And if you don't back it up well enough, people are eventually going to lose trust in you. So if you say, I'm deleting my channel, but the thing is you have like 10 channels, that's literally what he does. It's like, oh, I opened this other channel and I deleted it just to get your attention. I'm trolling people. And I mean, it's funny enough, but it's not that good. You know, you see how the first one crushes, and then after that, it's significantly less. All right. So it only works for so long. But if you can't communicate outside of these, like I quit headlines, if you're going outside of 12 words in a headline, you clearly can't communicate it with thousands of words. You're disorganized. You've got too much you're trying to say. Going back to Roya, the rule of 1, where you're having 1 reader, 1 offer, staying focused, right? You're probably trying to do too much if you can't say it in 12 words, or you don't really understand it. So you need to simplify and you need to organize to make sure that you can actually communicate what you need to in just 12 words. So here's some stuff that we went over the other day. Headline strategies. In 2 pages, I'm going to give you all of my favorite headlines, and there's also a free resource that you can download available in the link below. All free in exchange for email. I won't hit you up with anything crazy, just weekly tips. And that's it, just tips. And then eventually I might talk about copywriting if you're actually taking action and engaging. But all that said, before we get to the deliverables of like, here are 50 headline formulas you can use, let's talk about the theory. Because one thing that I think copywriters will do that sets them up for a mistake, for failure, is that they depend on formulas and they don't understand the theory, which means you can only copy, right? Copying can be good, but you're never going to be perfect if you don't understand the theory behind it. You might try and go to a new industry, or you might have to launch a new type of product and you won't know how to talk about it. So you'll never be able to be first, and you'll never do that well for yourself financially because you don't understand the theory behind it. So let's start with the theory, why don't we? So the first thing is you can be provocative, like the I almost died or the I'm quitting. You can bust a myth, talk about something that not firmly held belief, but the partly held belief, the partially held belief that you can kind of subvert a little bit. So talk about busting a myth, challenging their beliefs. Or avocados here ruining your health? Oh, I thought that was good. Should you stop running on the treadmill? I thought that was good. 2-option question. Are you a Republican or a Democrat? I talked about this again on the first one, so I'm going to be kind of fast about it. But this is a really good strategy for display ads or ads in general. You can make people vote on stuff, right? You can say, like, what is your opinion on this? Do you think, like, let's say you're going to do you think Republicans will win the House in 2026? Is that right? 2024, 2026? Yep. So do you think they're going to win the House in 2026? And people will be yes, people will be no. Regardless of what button they click on the landing page, they can go to a different landing page. Clearly, probably being either Republican or Democrat based on their hopes there. Or maybe say, do you want them to win, or whatever it is. So you can filter them different ways. That sort of vote, people like to share their opinion. They like to take sides. It's a very powerful way to do a headline. Now, a paradox, right? So people have their assumptions about things. It should excite or remove prejudice. So here we have a prejudice that that people who go to college, they make money. So we're going to remove prejudice here. We say that doesn't work. We're going to say why billionaires don't go to college. Millionaires might go to college, but billionaires don't. What's the difference, right? It's a good way to excite or remove prejudice. A strong promise. You can lose 50 pounds with this method, land your dream job in 30 days. One thing that I talked before is the value equation by Alex Hormozi. So on top, you have perceived likelihood of achievement, and then you have the dream outcome. And on the bottom, you have time and sacrifice. So your goal is to get people to believe that they can do it. So increase the perceived likelihood of achievement. Your goal is to beautifully illustrate the dream outcome so that it's very vivid and intense for them. And then on the bottom, you want to decrease time and sacrifice. So you can have more things, I promise you can achievement, in less time with less struggle. That is a killer offer. Is that stretching the truth? Not if you have a good enough product. So that's always a good goal there, to actually deliver on what you're promising, which is why I said before, copywriters end up being really good marketers, really good product creators, and basically really good CEOs because they really understand customers and how to provide value. So as you're going through this copywriting class, don't just think of this as a way to write good words and sell people. Think of this as your introduction to being the best marketer and the best businessman you can be. All right, so number benefit, this one exercise will get you 6-pack abs. These three exercises will get you 6-pack abs. You can do the big specific number. This is something that Claude Hopkins really talks about, which is having a big specific number. The app that taught 1,318,732 people Spanish. Or it could be something like, it removes 99.99% of germs is a great example, but removes 99.97% of germs, even better. Why? 99.99 is too convenient. It's too easy, right? Something about it just kind of feels random. Makes it feel like, oh, it must be something that they naturally arrived at through calculation. So keep that in mind, right? Dollar signs. People like dollars. Giving away $5 million. Mr. Beast is the king of that. Credible names. Why Elon Musk is wrong. Why Jeff Bezos is wrong. Why Jack Dorsey is wrong. Whatever you want to do. Why they're right? So talking about celebrity is always, has always, and will always be a good move. Why? Because people already have existing opinions on them. And so you can So you can excite or remove prejudice by talking about them. They know, oh, I must know, so I have an opinion on this person. I must know more about them afterwards. So talk about celebrities and popular companies and things like that. That's a good deal. Or maybe popular historical events. All of those are credible names, even if they're not a person. This just happened. Did Meghan and Harry just break up? I was writing these right after Meghan dropped her new show, and everyone's complaining about Meghan because it's like, oh, I don't want to hear from her again. Duchess of Sussex. Success story. Maybe Harry finally breaks free from the clutches of Meghan. We can only hope, right? Things that don't go together, but do. How Beyblades might lead to nuclear war. This is really popular on sort of like, if you're on a news publication website, you see something kind of seems weird and almost like scammy, clickbaity. That's what I'm looking for. Almost like a clickbaity headline. This is a really popular one. Two things that don't go together. When you log into a browser and they've got like the featured stories to try and get you to click through so that they can financially support the browser. That's another great example of it. You're like, what is that? It creates an open loop in your mind. An open loop is like, I have to have the answer. What are you even talking about? So the best headlines create an open loop. Didn't say that in the first episode. That's why you tune back out. So an open loop is, think of like a soap opera where you get to the end of it and you go, well, did they cheat on so-and-so? Find out next week. That's the soap opera sequence where you have to know. You're always being left with some sort of a cliffhanger. That's what you want in a good headline. It introduces the stakes. It gives you a number. It shows a benefit, but ideally it opens a loop so that you have to know what's happening on the other side. So for this example, we have to be able to justify that once they open it up, right? How Beyblades might lead to nuclear war. How does that work? Well, Beyblades are made out of plastic. That's injection molding. We've got aluminum or steel manufacturing for the metal parts. We've got electronics for the electric parts. All things that are all manufactured in China. China and America are going into a trade war together, and they're both nuclear superpowers. So Beyblades are just a little microcosm of how we're not getting along, how we're intertwined from a manufacturing and economic standpoint, but we can't afford that. And that relationship is creating a lot of tension, could lead to nuclear war. That's the rough outcome the rough outline of that sort of content. So you can back it up and it makes sense once you actually get inside. For the industry, you can call out like a specific niche and say small business owners or, not freelance, but like small time skateboarders, whatever it might be, amateur skateboarders, whoever you want to talk to, address them directly and then say what the benefit is. Small business owners do this to stay profitable. Amateur skateboarders do this to get your first sponsor. Great way to keep going. The topic within the topic. This is great. There's several different other headline strategies you can use here, but the main call out is you have your headline and then the parentheses. So you say 3 ways to get jacked in 30 minutes or less. So that's the dream outcome in less time and sacrifice, right? But you could emphasize something else. You could emphasize 3 ways to get jacked for busy small business owners. So we get the main benefit, 3 ways to get jacked. So that's a benefit. That's a listicle because we're addressing the 3 ways. That's what, like 3 ways, 7 ways, 5 ways, whatever. That's how you organize a small number of things together. Again, we talked about this in the first one. Sorry, I didn't mention it until now. So you get the listicle, which is the 3 ways, 5 ways, 7 ways, which is a great way to keep people's attention throughout the whole thing. It's another open loop. You can't get to number 5 on a 7-point checklist and just leave. You have to know what all of them are. Another great open loop. We'll talk about open loops another day. So there's 3 ways to get jacked in 30 minutes or less. Or we say 3 ways to get jacked for busy. That's our problem. So big benefit, problem, and then for the niche. So we say 3 ways to get jacked for busy small business owners. Oh, that's great. You may get less views on it, but the people who you do, they're like, this is going to be exactly for me. I'm doing 75 hard right now, so I have to work out twice a day for 45 minutes, and that's a lot of activity. So on my off days, I try to walk or box for cardio, and then I try and do yoga because I'm a 30-year-old man and my bones are achy, and a father. So all that being said, what I'm saying is I stand at this desk all day and get work done, and it's great to have a yoga video that specifically says that it is for desk workers. So I know, okay, all my problems that I'm facing are going to be perfectly solved by this video. And there's a lot of desk workers, so they get plenty of views, but it's good to niche down, and it's good to niche down in your headline sometimes. Finally, question and answer. Can't eat enough calories. These recipes will have even hard gainers getting jacked. So we say can't eat enough calories. That's your problem. Then we say these recipes, so that's a feature, will have even hard gainers getting jacked. So that's problem and benefit there. Hard gainers can't gain, but this time they will. They'll get jacked. Great one. Great one. Here are my favorite headlines. You can download them in the resources below. Yeah, not much more to say. Lots of great stuff in there. Already went over that. So do me a favor. Picture this. Let's say you work really hard developing a product. You have the perfect service out there, but you have a terrible name for it, and so people are just going to ignore you, right? That would really, really suck, but it happens all the time. So imagine now, instead of that it only takes one sentence, one perfect sentence, not even a sentence, a phrase really, and you could go from getting no attention to tons of attention just because your title is a little bit different. That's what this headline formula is. It's not just a headline formula, it's addressing what your product is, and it's an acronym, MAGIC, that allows you to easily and quickly make really powerful titles for your products. And here's the best part. It's Alex Hormozi's simple, powerful system for crafting these titles, turning your pitch into something downright irresistible. So let's dive into what he says. Not claiming credit for this. This is Hormozi's. The magic headline formula, and you can find this, by the way, in $100 Million Offers. It's a great book. I recommend it highly. I read it probably once a year, and definitely pull it out as a guide every time I launch a new product. So great one. Magic headline formula. Magnetic. Make a magnetic reason why you're making this offer. Why are you doing this now? Is it spring break? Is it the new year? Is it a grand opening of the product? Or are you going out of business? Is that the reason for the sale? As long as you do that, you'll see good results. Actually, interestingly enough, brief story on going out of business. Claude Hopkins tells this story in his memoir, and he's saying that one of the best advertisements he saw was for a local company who was like trying to do all these things, trying to make these huge campaigns. And it was actually so rare for people to be honest in their advertising that they said, like, honestly, like, if we don't sell $2.7 million worth of product in the next 2 weeks, we're going to go bankrupt. So that's why these prices are so low and so fair. And people loved it. It was super refreshing. And they're like, well, I don't really want them to go out of business. And, you know, I could use these deeply discounted products. So they went and supported them. It's crazy. Sometimes honesty is the best policy. In fact, it often is. And I don't think that's any less true then than it is now. Being honest in your marketing can be very good for you. And if that's your magnetic reason why, so be it. All right, your avatar. So who's your ideal audience? There could be 30 people in the Mesa area looking to get fit by New Year's. Mesa is the city that I grew up in as a kid, Mesa, Arizona. And I would get ads all the time. I'd be like, hey, I'm looking for 30 people who are looking to get fit. That ad ran all the time. It's very successful. I've moved to Texas. I see the same thing. It's just a great way to target locally and find generally like bodybuilding and personal training kind of clients. But it's a good move. So you could say, hey, it's for small business owners, for example. That's your avatar. Maybe that's a part of your title. The goal. What is your audience's goal? Is like the main benefit, not secondary benefits. Don't do that. The primary benefit. And this can be basic or super over the top. So it could be 6-pack abs. It could be never out of breath, fit as a fiddle, debt free, or $1 million, whatever it might be. Those are all good goals that your audience might have. You have to do a little research and figure out what they want. Next, but not last, is the interval, your I in the magic headline formula. This can be any time frame, really. It just the amount of time it takes to complete the challenge or see the result. It could be a day, a week, a month, a year, a fortnight, a blue moon, or summer break. Whatever it might be, just have a time frame that makes sense for people. And finally, the C in your container is the C in your magic headline formula is the container word. So these are just the wrapping on the package. What is this? Is this a system, a blueprint, a challenge, a summit, an accelerator, transformation, a mastermind, cheat code, academy, bootcamp, intensive, shortcuts, crash course, secret, challenge, program, experience, summit, sprint, launch, getaway, meetup, gameplay, liftoff, 101, quick start guide, or a mastery course? I'm not sure. That's up to you. But there are many different container words. By the way, this is a great thing that I like to get ChatGPT to do. So I have this short little list, and sometimes I just highlight it and I go, give me more container words. Enter. It's great at that sort of stuff. I'm not going to send you away from AI, but don't have it do the bulk of your writing for you. It's not that good. So the magic headline formula, some final tips here. It's the roadmap to creating a killer offer title, which really comes down to actually making sales as a business. So you're going to have your magnetic reason to start, your avatar, who is this really for? G, goal. What outcome or benefit will they achieve? Interval, how long will it take? And container, these magic words and they kind of wrap everything in your offer together. Now, as a brief piece of advice, you don't need all 5 of these. You probably need 3 to 5 of them to create a powerful title. And you can do it with alliteration and rhymes. They're nice, but they're not necessary. So what are some of my favorite examples? The simple shot sequence is one put on by Performance Golf. Simple, that's easy. That's a benefit. The shot sequence, the sequence is the container here. It doesn't say who it's for. Let's see what we have. The magic interval. So it's a magnetic. It's not even a reason why. It's not a reason why. It isn't an avatar. It's a goal. We had the simple shot and then the sequence, right? Okay, that's a good one. The 14-day filmmaker. Now we're getting a little bit better. We've got interval, we've got goal, and we've got who it's for. 1, 2, 3. Like it. 67 steps. That one's by Ty Lopez, and by 14-day filmmaker is by 14-day filmmaker. So I didn't need to elaborate on that one. So Ty Lopez, I mentioned this on the first day. He ran the "Here in My Garage" ad. He goes, you know what I like much more than material things? Knowledge. All right, so that's Ty Lopez. You probably remember that ad if you were live in 2015. That ad was everywhere, and it was for the 67 Steps program. And the 67 Steps program encouraged you once a day to kind of get his notes on a book that he thought was revolutionary. 67 days was how long it took to make a new habit, and 67 days is how long you would take to form your new life. Each day learning something new, each day learning something more powerful. It kind of rewired your brain towards success. So that was definitely leaning almost entirely on the goal, but it was almost entirely on the goal and the interval, which is 67 days. But it kind of viscerally did it in a way that you're like, once that was explained to you, it also felt like a very magnetic reason why. It's like, hey, I want to turn my life around, and these 67 days are the way that I do that. Okay, now let's get into thumbnails. So we talked a little bit about great headline strategies. Headlines can be used for your blog or for your video or for your subject line. We're getting a little bit more specific now because the actual things you want to do, what works on different platforms, changes from platform to platform. So if you're making thumbnails, let's talk about what works and what doesn't. So picture going into YouTube, there's like an endless sea of videos, ads, and social posts. And every single one of them is vying for a split second of your attention. Now imagine there's one thumbnail. There's one thumbnail out of hundreds that catches your attention. You click it and you watch it. And that's what you have to be. You can't be good enough. You have to be the best in order to get attention. So your thumbnail is the single biggest factor in driving views on YouTube and grabbing attention on ads. And it's your first and sometimes your only chance to get people's attention. They're not going to read your headline unless you stop them with the thumbnail. But how do you do that? So today, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to make a killer thumbnail, the visuals, the emotions, the curiosity triggers, and the subtle storytelling that makes scrolling thumbs pause. So yesterday, as we were riding through things, I was going through the survival landing page. And you saw, okay, if we start with a problem, when we were kind of outlining the offer, we start with a problem as our H1, as our big header. Then as a sub-headline, we need to talk about the benefit and possibly the primary and the secondary benefits. So as we're doing thumbnails, I want you to get in a similar headspace. Think of your picture as your headline, and think of your headline as your sub-headline, right? So the first thing they're going to see is the image. That should not be the same thing. It shouldn't be the same words as what's in your headline, right? Thumbnail, then your headline. Think of it as what would normally be your headline and sub-headline. So basically, the goal of the thumbnail is to create an open loop where people go, wait, what's happening? You go first on the wall, he's attacking, there's an arrow, someone might be falling back. What's going on here? And then you go down. What motivated soldiers to be the first to climb the wall? Oh, interesting. I'd like to know that. No boss, just me. He's building a house, right? I guess where are his tools? How is he doing that? He's just got a couple pallets. Beginner to full-time woodworker in 2 years. Oh, that's cool. Now, I think Ethan's video gives it away a little bit, right? We say in and out, price, cost, homemade, $4.49, and less calories, right? It gives it away. We're doing in and out versus homemade, and I successfully did it. But what I need to wonder is, how did you do it? And then I go down, it says, can I make in and out cheaper and healthier at home? So he tries for an open loop. I think this could have been better if he blurred the homemade and the calories. That could be interesting. So there's this great program called TubeBuddy that lets you split test your thumbnail. So that's what I would do. Maybe he did. Maybe he actually hid that. But one way or another, we got the benefit in there, and people are going to be curious about everything going on there. But there might have been room for improvement by not giving away the answer there. That he did successfully do it. People may not have wanted to know how to do it. They might have just wanted to know if it was possible, in which case you told them in the thumbnail and they clicked away. All right, so how do we grab attention? Let's kind of look at what these did right. There's 8 different strategies. Man, pardon me. So let's look at what these did right. There are 8 different strategies that I think you should employ when making YouTube headlines. The first one is to create curiosity. I think I said that a little bit. It's like you're like first on the wall, okay, and he's attacking with a stick or a sword, and the guy's falling back. Like, what exactly is happening here? And then you get to the answer in the headline. Great job. Show a benefit. No boss, just me. We don't really know the details of this. I guess maybe he did this on his own. Maybe that's what's going on here. Great way to show a benefit. These people don't want to work for an overbearing boss. That's a great benefit. Good job. Use faces. So you see the other 2 didn't. Faces sell really well. And so we have the face and the benefits there. In Ethan's, that's a great way to grab attention. All right, now we have how to grab attention with expressive faces. All right, so we have this face. What? We're looking to the side? That's a good expressive face. Now we have charisma on command, and we have this guy just, right? It's interesting though. It's different than the other faces. See, just to the side, we see some more expressive faces with different lighting, with different glows. I doubt they actually had those glows. I'm sure that they did that in Photoshop. Great way to do it. So what we've done here is we've used 4 words or less on the screen. We're not getting crazy with it. You'll see most of these, except for Ethan's, do the same thing, 4 words or less. Ethan's is a little busy. So we have Catholic, Protestant. And one thing that we've done here is we've set up an open loop of conflict. These 2 people are opposing forces. They're lit differently. They clearly have 2 rival religious opinions. And we go, oh man, what's going to happen? We go down, it says, is the Pope legit? Catholicism versus Protestantism debate with featuring Michael Knowles. All right, cool. So finally, we have find your focus, which is, if we look through like Ethan's, for example, it's kind of hard to focus on. And sometimes that can play well. No boss, just me. I don't really know. Do I look at Ethan or do I look at the hamburger, and which hamburger do I look at? Whereas the beginning woodworker one, oh, I just see this guy, and then everything else I kind of take in afterwards. But the guy is the center of it. First on the wall, we have 2 people, but we're clearly kind of focusing on the combat. So we have one thing to focus on. Here on Why I Left Charisma on Command, we have this guy just sitting there, just staring at the camera. He's our focus. Catholic versus Protestant, we've got a couple of things to pay attention to. Like I said, they set up conflict. So there is a lot going on here, but I think it works for them. Whereas Best of Tchaikovsky, what we have here is just a weird horse standing in a snowy field, but it's all white except for that one black horse. That's a great way to pull attention. What does that have to do with Tchaikovsky? I don't know, but we know what we're focusing on. So again, don't think you have to do all 8 of these every single time, but they are good rules to try to satisfy. And if you're going to break one of them, have a good reason for doing it. All right, number 7 and number 8, action over static. So over here, we've got a horse just standing, and we've got this guy just staring at the camera, and this guy just staring at a building. Not very active, but first on the wall, pretty active, right? I'd say beginner, full-time woodworker, it does have some action to it. So we've got some stuff leaning, some nice cuts of wood leaning on the right side, and we have smoke coming out. If it didn't have those things, it was just kind of a stack of wood, it wouldn't be as interesting. All right, so we have some action. Those arrows are a great version of action. Lots of movement, and they're both pointing in different directions. It's creating tension visually. Oh, that's a nice one. All right, so action over static. He could have just been standing there with this odd pose. You can't even see me. This odd pose with a strange head and a strange facial expression. What a great pose. Finally, almost every single rule I brought up, I know it sounded like I was hating on Ethan a little bit. Again, they might have tested it and they might have done well, but sometimes you just do whatever the heck works. You understand your audience. This is why I say you have to start with the theory before you go to headlines. You just need to understand what's going on, right? So we say the Palmetto State Armory Freedom AR-15, just as good, $400 arrow. So we have some movement because of the arrow. We kind of see a benefit that it's a $400 rifle. Doesn't create a lot of curiosity. It just as good. Yeah, so there's an open loop there. That's good. So we understand that it needs to have an open loop. But, you know, we're not necessarily having action. I guess he's holding it and it's floating instead of just being, you know, held in his arms. Yeah, you know, it's good, but he broke a couple of rules. It's fine. Understand why you're breaking them and then deliver. Clearly, with 4.9 million views, they did something right. So the final thing that I wanted to mention is that, so there's kind of two main ways that you can write headlines. The first is to just deliver value in the headline, in you know, the subject line in this case, and to SEO optimize in the content of the video. So YouTube has implemented the stuff. They used to have tags that were your SEO part, and they've mostly, it's there technically, but it's not that impactful. So from an SEO perspective, you want people to be able to discover what you're doing. So, you know, Grand Thumb here wanted to optimize for PSA Freedom AR-15 review. He could have done that. He could have put that in the headline, but that wouldn't have been as interesting from a discovery standpoint. So he optimized for discovery, and I'm sure in the description of his YouTube video, he has PSA Freedom AR-15 review, right? So that's SEO optimization in the caption. The other thing you can do is actually deliver value and SEO optimized in the front. So you could say, is the Pope legit? Hey, some people might be looking for that. Why I should listen to the Pope? Whatever. Catholicism versus Protestantism debate. Those are all things that people might be searching for. So they put in the headline, Best of Tchaikovsky. People might be looking for that. Why I left Charisma on Command? Not so much. That one's definitely a create a curiosity thing. Can I make In-N-Out cheaper and healthier at home? Parts of that will, right? So from an SEO perspective, you say In-N-Out cheaper or In-N-Out healthier or DIY In-N-Out hamburger cheaper or whatever, like any permutation of that. So that's pretty much optimized for that. But the rest of this is pretty much discovery. It's optimized for you to find it. And any stuff that you're searching for will have to come in the caption. Now, this is one of the best headlines I've ever seen, completely unoptimized for anything. It says absolutely nothing to do with ham radios. I had nothing to do with ham radios. I am working towards my ham radio license now because of this video. Such a great headline. Why 2.6 million people can push this button, but we can't? Well, I'll be damned if that isn't a really good open loop, right? So like I said, not only did this get me to watch the video, it got me to buy a Beifong radio, which you see there, and it got me to download a course and pay for a course in ham radio, which I haven't completed because I'm a dad and I'm a business owner and it takes time. But, you know, it's on there as a thing I want to do someday, all because of this video. How impressive, right? Great, great thing. And by the way, the answer is, I'm not going to tell you, go watch the video. Ha, there we go. If you're curious, the Modern Rogue got you now too. So PewDiePie, like I said, is good at it. Sometimes it's I quit, but he breaks a lot of the rules here. Like we had more rules earlier, so we have congratulations. Damn it, PewDiePie, what is going on there? He's just a master of curiosity, so he's got an expressive face. That's the main thing he's leaning on there. And it says T next to him. Why does it say T? He's just like, all the rules, get rid of it. He's just focusing on the open loop. A funny montage. We got an expressive face and a bold promise. That's a good move. Level 7, scare PewDiePie. He's just flinching, right? No real thing there except he's expressive physically. He's moving, right? So we're showing movement in our thing. Bitch lasagna, of course, the best. Just raw curiosity. What the hell are we talking about? What are you doing with your face? Why do you have weird sunglasses on? Really just an expert in getting people's attention. Jabba the Hutt, PewDiePie song. You got the pugs screaming. I don't know, man. He's just a weird dude who's following weird rules, but he has action on camera. He has expressive faces on camera. That's what he needs, and he needs to create an open loop, and he does. What is that? That's all it has to do, is it has to be wild and creative. Now, Ali Abdaal comes at it from a totally different perspective, totally different world, right? Very often optimizing in the title for some sort of search and create some sort of an open loop somewhere, right? So 9 passive income ideas, how I make 27K per week. Okay, so 9 passive income idea. We got a listicle. We're gonna stick around to the end. Already an open loop. There's 9 ways I have to know them, and a big benefit, 27K. How I type really fast, 156 words per minute. So we have that call out of the parentheses. Really good job there. How I type really fast? Interesting. He's got this crazy keyboard. It's not a boring keyboard. So again, well done. It's just a benefit with that call out. How to invest for beginners. That is the exact term that's going to be searched. And what does he show in the background? He shows a smiling face, an expressive face, and the benefit, $0 to $1 million. That 0 to 1 million or 10K or whatever it might be with the arrow behind it, that is a killer thumbnail. People will use that over and over, night and day. Same with the before and after. That like split screen you see on one side versus the other. There's like a dopamine detox video that went super viral that had something very similar. It's just a great way to do it. And you can see a lot of positive things. My evidence-based skincare routine. So on the right, we have a clear face, kind of a before and after, but not quite. And on the left, he's got just kind of blemishes, and we're not sure why. So, anyways, those are some good things. Let's keep going. All right, Mr. Beast, king of YouTube and scandals galore. Let's talk about what he does well and what he doesn't. Lots of faces, that's good. Expressive faces, of course, expressive faces. There a single face in there that isn't insanely expressive and maybe just a little bit awkward? No, he does it really well. Why are all these people gathered together? Why is there a yellow person way in the back? Why are all these people in yellow, red, and blue with a green? And why are they in a circle? Good open loop. All right, we have one of those before and after ones. $1 versus $500,000 plane ticket. I have to know. This is sort of an old TV trick, right? You give people like a behind the scenes. You're not as interested. If anyone's taken a flight, they've taken like a $1 to $500 flight for the most part. We don't know what a $1 flight is, and we don't know what a $500 flight is. We have to know. Ages 1 through 100. So we got young people and old people who are going to fight for $500,000. That's crazy. All right, so it's great. You know, he actually starts with the thumbnail first, like what would be a wild thing, a bunch of old people and young people behind me. Great. I spent 50 hours buried alive. He looks like a zombie. Good editing. Would you sit in snakes? So a bunch of snakes are killing him. That's great. He just starts with the thumbnail before he even gets the headline, before he even gets to the subject. It's an interesting strategy. It's obviously working really, really well for him. So if you can do those expressive faces and have something crazy and open loopy on there, you'll be successful. All right. After you get their attention, so like what I said, you have to make sure in a 3-step story, you know, you have your intro, your body, and your conclusion. Think about your thumbnail and your headline. Your conclusion, your call to action is click it. So that 3rd step needs to be continued somewhere, and you need to make it feel fluid once you move on to the next step. So you have your thumbnail, they'll see that first, then they'll read your headline, and then hopefully they'll click. And after they do that, you immediately, in the first 5 seconds, need to be thinking about, how do I keep them here? How do I deliver on the promises that I made in the headline? Next, if it's an email, for example, you have your subject line. Then as soon as you click it, again, you have to think about what that transition is. You go to the opening email line. That has to back up what you said in the subject line. You have to create a consistent stream of tension and not switch things up, or you'll lose people. And finally, you can continue the story throughout the rest of the email and eventually make a call to action later. All right, so the first day we talked about how to make people feel things. Today we're talking about getting attention. But tomorrow, or what we're going to talk about, and we've already practiced it a little bit, is how to tell a good story that continues through things. A thumbnail to a headline to your YouTube video, that is one continuous story. It can't feel disjointed. It has to feel second nature and grab their attention throughout the whole thing. Same thing with an email. Subject line to the first line of your email to the end. You click through, what's on the next page? Still the same continuing story. You need to make that happen for people. And if you don't, it doesn't matter how much attention you grab. It's going to be like filling a leaky bucket. Everyone's going to fall out. So tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to tell a great story that keeps people involved. I mentioned a little bit earlier, this is TubeBuddy. It's a great way to split test headlines and subject lines. Obviously, a ton of people use it there. The BBC, Fox Sports, Good Mythical Morning, How Ridiculous, Mr. Beast, NBC, and Paramount all use it. And I've used it. It's a great tool. headline examples. So let's go through this. This is just some great headlines that were written. I'll leave this up here because obviously they have some of their own call to actions here, and I don't want to be stealing things from people. I'm just trying to provide great resources here. So J. Abraham System seems to have a lot of great ebooks, some great copywriting. Ooh, that's cool. Step-by-step guide to writing $1 million advertising copy. That's cool. You might be interested in that given that you're here. So check some of these out. In fact, I will link to this particular page so that you can check out the PDF and maybe follow these links yourself. So let's talk about all those different headlines, right? There are a lot of different ways to get attention and keep attention. We went over them earlier. We saw what some of the top YouTubers are doing. Let's jump into some of the greatest headlines ever written. The secret of making people like you. Now, what's good about this? It doesn't give away the answer, and it's almost a universal desire. A little mistake that cost a farmer $3,000 a year. It calls out a sub niche here. And it does it really, really well and really quickly with a pain point that would be awful that anyone would want to avoid. And it doesn't say what that little mistake is. It implies that anyone could do it. And now I have to know. Advice to wives whose husbands don't save money. Buy a wife. Good. The children who won the hearts of all. Are you ever tongue-tied at a party? Hints at a problem, again, that everyone has. I'm only going to go through, let's say, 20 of these. And again, you can go through and read it on your own. There are some great inspiration points. How a new discovery made a plain girl beautiful. And see, again, how these are relating to each other. The headline versus the subject line. Okay, right. And by the way, J. Abraham has gone through here and you can see why each one works. So we have how to win friends and influence people. Again, a major desire tapped on by Dale Carnegie. Just a strong promise there in the headline of his book. The last 2 hours are the longest, and those are the 2 hours you save. Who else wants a screen star figure? I don't even know what that is saying, so whatever, I'm not going to deal with it. Do you make these mistakes in English? Obviously calling out a specific crowd there, but they have to know. You're like, do I make those mistakes? It didn't say 5 mistakes everyone makes, which is also a good headline, but do you make these mistakes? I don't know, I have to know. So that's starting with a rhetorical question, another good strategy. Why some food explode in your stomach? That sounds dangerous. I don't want that to happen. Hands that look lovelier in 24 hours or your money back. Now, this is getting less into a headline and like a headline you'd see on a video or something like this. This is more like a headline on a landing page, right? That's a good one. It's a strong one. You can laugh at money worries if you follow a simple plan. Okay, so it's kind of visceral where you don't say no more worries. You say you can laugh at them. They're so far gone, you can laugh. If you follow a simple plan, that's basically a listicle. It's a listicle of one. Makes it short and simple. I'm going to stop at number 15. Why some people almost always make money in the stock market. Again, huge benefit, short. When doctors feel rotten, this is what they do. Okay, awesome. You can see they follow a lot of the same strategies. There's a lot more for you to go through here. There's 100 of them, and I will make that available to you in the link below. So something you'll notice me doing throughout this course is I'm not going to limit our study to just copywriting, and I'm not going to limit it to just studying great marketers of the past. I think that marketing and copywriting and storytelling are actually very, very similar, right? Telling a story is about getting your attention, moving you towards a destination, and having a conclusion. And so is marketing. It's getting attention, moving people towards a destination, and getting them to buy or subscribe or whatever it might be, right? So we can look other places. What's the difference between a story and a book, right? A book, that's a big deal. How do we raise the stakes right at the beginning? That's something that Malachi Walsh talks about, is talking about your raise the stakes question, something like that. That's almost his exact phrase. The newsworthy headline. So what is it that you put out front that's like, man, what is going on? What's happening right there? Oh man, if I read just one line, now I have to know. It's an open loop. I have to know what's going on. Really strong one from the Iliad. Sing, O goddess, the song, the wrath of Achilles. To people who all know about Achilles, why is Achilles mad? What's going on? Oh man, crazy. The wrath of Achilles. Strong emotions in the start. We have to know why he feels them. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It's the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. Well, now we're using paradoxes. We talked about that earlier. Something about a paradox just tickles our brain a little bit. How is it the best of times and the worst of times? How is it the age of wisdom and the age of foolishness? What's going on? Now, this is sort of a paradox, but more like a complete impossibility, right? A paradox, through contradiction creates reveals truth. So we say we're comparing England and France, we're comparing England and France in their respective revolutions. But that's not what we're saying in 1984 with George Orwell. We're just saying that's impossible. So it was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. So it's visceral. We're talking about the day, how it's going. It's a bright, cold day. They're short, simple words, but they're powerful. We know what that day would feel like. And the clocks were striking 13. Whoa, hold up. I thought things were good. Something is clearly wrong here. So we set the stakes and already introduced a problem. And finally, from one of my favorite books from my childhood, The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. Look, I didn't ask to be a half-blood. And what's so powerful about this is, what the heck is a half-blood? So we say, and not only is a half-blood, and we have an open loop for a term we never heard before. Secondly, we say, why didn't he want? What's wrong about being a half-blood? Cool. And we get a sense of personality too. Look, I didn't ask to be a half-blood. Great start, great open. So these are some of the my favorite literature opening lines. This is what you should be trying to do with your headlines. It's always about getting attention through some interesting open loops, through a paradox, through certain numbers, whatever it might be that throws your audience through a loop and wants them to discover more. So from movies, we're not going to limit ourselves to literature. Even though this is a college class, we don't need to be stuck up about it. Let's look at some of the best movies. Opening line of Tangled. This is the story of how I died. Don't worry, it's actually a very funny story. All right, so first of all, we know it ends in death, but it's funny. How is it funny? Great one. The world has changed from The Lord of the Rings. Good start. Why is it changed? This is Sunset Boulevard, Los Angeles, California. Now the words themselves, not that interesting. But what's happening is you're seeing cop car after cop car after cop car after ambulance flying down the road. Something is clearly wrong in Los Angeles, California, as it always is. And it sets the stakes. It creates what? A paradox that we have to resolve. How is that possible? Same thing with Tangled. It's kind of a paradox. How'd you die? How's that a funny story? Now I need to know. And you have to know, what exactly is this event that's causing all these police cars and an ambulance to go down the road? All right, Patton. I want you to remember that no bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. Strong line from one of his speeches. Great one. It's counterintuitive, right? It goes against our expectations. We always say, I'm willing to die for my country. No. You don't win. We're shattering an expectation here. You don't win by dying. You win by winning. That's a good one. Good start. Makes you question your thoughts on everything. Now, finally, Goodfellas. You have this long intro where people aren't talking. They're driving next to each other. They open up the trunk. There's a guy in the back, and they whack the dude. And we get a small smile and goes, I always wanted to be a gangster. Powerful. Why did you want that? Again, a paradox. Really, really powerful way to open things up. That is not the life that we envision for ourselves, so there must be something there that we don't understand. Why would you aspire to this life of being a gangster? So, before there was the internet, we had magazines and newspapers. This is how people got attention, right? Before you walked up to a newspaper stand, there'd be hundreds there waiting for you. You didn't know which one you're going to pick. And the headlines and images that they picked had to grab your attention. There's hundreds of options. Why would you pick this one? And then the newspaper guy would yell at you to buy it or get lost. That's basically the call to action, right? So it's a good way to get people hooked and see what happens. So once they're hooked, they can't just sit there and kind of guess about it. They're going to have to buy to resolve that open loop. It's a great little system there. Great way to sell papers. So what are we looking at here? Mr. President, Obama's historic victory, a picture of a man who has received many, many votes, perhaps one of the most popular elections in recent memory. So very interesting, Mr. President, all caps. Yeah, this one's very historic, but I find it less stimulating than others, though we did go with all caps. Men Walk on the Moon is one of my favorites, right? So we have big headline, Men Walk on the Moon, sub headline, different font, italic, astronauts land on plane, collect rocks, plant flag. Very cool. We get a sense of the stakes, and then we could stop reading there. It gives a lot away, but we see pictures and we have to know, like, oh man, what are all the details? Voice from the moon. A powdery surface is closely explored. We have a new open loop down there. That's really interesting. So the pictures and some of the supporting headlines actually pull you in more. So US under attack, obviously the image does a lot of work here and does everything it needs to. But we have George Bush receiving some sort of secret communications off to the side there. That's obviously a big deal. What exactly is going on? Up top, we have people crying and being held New York's nightmare. So the first thing you pay attention to is the exploding building and then the headline, but everything else kind of supports it, pulls you back around and goes, wait. US premise, attacks will be remembered. Okay, wow, this is powerful. I see how we're acting, why we're acting, but I've got a couple of questions about what's going on, and that's really powerful. It makes me want to buy. Some good headlines. I'm gonna have to back out here because I was doing some funnel hacking with some SaaS companies the other day, and I wanted to walk through what these companies did well and what they didn't. So let's go ahead and go in. And it's actually been a hot minute since I did these. So let me look through really fast. Okay, so I should be on to live practice pretty quick. Okay, cool. So the first one we want to go to is GetResponse, and they've changed quite a bit. You also ClickFunnels changed their thing. They had such a good landing page for such a long, or a good web page for such a long time, and they totally rebranded it. I'm sure they're such a direct response company too, and I don't know why they went away from the VSL. I love to get in their heads a little bit because they did this. It's still a well-designed page, but they have no big VSL here. They just kind of have this still video that you can go through and see how it goes. So they basically made a fancy demo here, which is, it is what it is. It used to be so much better, guys. It used to be so much better. So we'll talk about what I like and what I don't like. Hint, people don't like reading that much. So why do you make them read? All right, that's interesting. All right, so let's jump in. GetResponse, send emails, automate marketing, monetize content in one place. Grow your business and boost revenue with an easy, affordable platform that brings email automation, online courses, and paid newsletters together. All-in-one marketing software. Okay, so what I don't like here is the general feeling I get is that they are hitting on they have three spots and they all basically hit the same benefit. So why is our main benefit send emails, automate marketing, and monetize content? So if we're optimizing this for SEO instead of for copywriting and conversion, we might call this all-in-one marketing software. So ideally, hold up, if I were to inspect this, that should be my H1. Oh, okay. It is actually an H1. It doesn't look like an H1 visually, but it is. So they've optimized this top line for people searching all-in-one marketing software. That's good. So the secondary benefit, the one that we're really seeing here, could be anything. Now, why, when we're highlighting, this is our primary benefit, our secondary line, but our primary benefit, send emails, automate marketing, and monetize content all in one place. I guess the main thing that you're doing to send emails is, like, that's what I'm here to do. But I can send emails with anyone. What's the unique selling proposition of this page? It's not all-in-one. Every marketing software is an all-in-one pretty much these days. So I might say convert more conversions easier than ever. I might say it's a little janky. It's a little rough. But that's the essence of what should be there. Or you could say the best marketer on your team. That gets at a benefit. It's kind of like a more visceral reaction. Send emails, automate marketing, monetize content all in one place. So just a couple of features, man. It's just features. Stop it. So if you send emails, what do? You want to get conversions, you want to get engagement. If you want to automate marketing, you want to save time. If you want to monetize your content, you want to make money. So I want to say more money, less frustration. Then we make the subject line a little bit better underneath. More money, less frustration. Grow your business and boost revenue with an easy, affordable platform that brings email automation, online courses, and paid newsletters together. The best way to monetize your content. So we left that out. We might want to add that in. Great. Why are we emphasizing that it's all in one in all three? It's all in one on top. It's in one place in the second one. And on the third one, we say an affordable platform that brings together email automation, online course, and paid newsletter. Obviously it's all in one. We get it. Focus on something different in the H1 that gets people to keep reading. And then we start a 30-day free trial. That's a good call to action. Now we're not going to go over the rest of the page. It is what it is. It's really, from a design perspective, I really like it. Didn't do it. So you're one funnel away from traveling the world. Guess what, ClickFunnels? You're good at headlines. You're good at delivering benefits. You're one funnel away from flying first class. You're one funnel away from avocado toast. I don't know about that one. That one's a little funny, I guess, but not in a good way. Almost putting people down. From getting that llama, what are you talking about? From getting 2 llamas, I can get 2 llamas? All right, ClickFunnels is just trying to have a little bit of personality here. You've been sitting here a while, taking that nap. Okay, that's funny, man. All right, so what they're doing is they started out serious, and then they got a little bit funnier, but they're still hinting at things. You know, you've got time back. You've got discretionary income. You don't have to report to anyone. So these are good. This is a good way to do this. From making it rain, again, a little bit funny. They're showing some personality. Start for free today. Put in your information. Hey, that's my email. All right, I guess everyone here is just going to email me now. Okay, your store, your CRM, your email marketing, that's good. Nice social proof section here. Some great social proof here as well. Funnels for creators. That's helpful. If I identify as a creator, they've called me out. The funnel mindset, blah, 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 blah. Build a funnel-based business. Could be a little bit better. I mean, they talk about funnels all the time. These are great quotes that they've called out. Good move. Has helped me save lives. Awesome. But build a funnel-based business. Do I want a funnel-based business? Do I want a bigger business? Do I want to finally break through in business? Funnels aren't just a feature, they're a mentality. Stop limiting yourself. From leads to sales, from your stores to courses and community, your entire business is a funnel, and you could build all that here too. I just don't think that headlines it. There's different, you could actually tap into something there. Try our apps. Yeah, this is all appropriate. This is just a feature section. Good. Ready to get started, call to action. Okay, that's good. Well done. Good headline. And that, from a design perspective, that's a really good way to include a lot of benefits and kind of keep people watching for a while. And this demo, also a good way to kind of show benefits. It's also a good way to stand out because most people would just do screen capture here. So this extra animation is really just kind of sealing the deal. And as opposed to why I don't like just long sales pages, most people don't want to read. You see how I just fly through this. Most people don't want to read. And so that's what I like about a video sales letter. But nowadays, people aren't turning on the sound as often. So if I'm guessing, as much as I like their video, because I'm a video guy, they're probably doing it because people aren't reading it. So this allows them to keep their phone on silent and still get some results. So that's my guess. Effortless email and marketing automation. Okay, effortless. That's a secondary benefit, but it's a big one. Email and marketing automation. It's easy. So again, it's effortless. That's probably their H1 though. They need email and marketing automation. Yeah, okay. So H1, it is what it is. So they have to optimize that for SEO, right? I get that. Not what we did over here on GetResponse. We optimized that one for H1. And here, our H1 is giant. And unfortunately, that means that we're optimizing that line. But it is what it is. Grow your business with AI-powered automations that suggest, personalize, and validate your market campaigns. That's good. It's just a little technical for me. So what would I do instead for ActiveCampaign? Effortless email and marketing automation. Effortless campaigns that crush. Now, this is my style. This is how I would write it, but let's keep it short. Let's keep it punchy. Let's infuse some personality and show a benefit. So effortless campaigns that crush. Up top, I do that small H1. I make this my H2, small H1. All-in-one email and marketing automation, just like we had before. Big H1, we're gonna hit that, say, effortless campaigns that crush. On the bottom, rapidly grow your AI business with rapidly grow your business with AI-powered automations that suggest, personalize, and validate your marketing campaigns. So you what? So you can paint the dream here a little bit. So you can see results and still have a work-life balance. I don't know, whatever it might be. Why'd you leave it there? There's no, you could have painted the picture a little bit with 6 extra words. All right. So this is the ones I'm really persnickety about. HubSpot it is what it is. They're one of those companies that likes to deliver a lot of value and not make a call to action. So they have really polite marketing. Look, they're doing well for themselves. They built a good brand. But why? Why don't you just be a little bit more specific and deliver something a little bit more concrete? With HubSpot, you can have it all. No, you can't. You can't be all things to all people. It's one of my annoying bugaboos. You can't have it. You can have it all. No, you can't. Unifying your growing business on one AI-powered platform that's easy to use, delivers ROI in no time, and transfers customer happiness into your competitive edge. Corporate mealy-mouthed nonsense. So we've also HubSpot customer platform. That's our H1. So we're optimizing for SEO. That's a paragraph? That's our headline. With HubSpot, your H1 is with HubSpot. You can have it all. HubSpot, what are you even doing? All right. Obviously, I'm coming at this from a marketing perspective and not just a copywriting experience, but this is important. You'll write pages differently based on what you're trying to achieve. Man, HubSpot customer platform. No, you could go HubSpot dash the free all-in-one CRM, the free all-in-one marketing tool, or take free out, the premium, or don't add an adjective at all. Make that your H1. Don't make that a paragraph. Why is your paragraph all caps? This is crazy. This is HubSpot. They should know better. With HubSpot, you can have it all. What a terrible benefit. Do I want to have it all? Have all of what? Is this the free heroin again? Because I don't need the free heroin. Oh, it's barely a primary benefit. You're just hinting at it. Sorry, I am tearing HubSpot apart here. Okay, what would I do instead? I'm a HubSpot user. I use this professionally. They've persuaded me by none of their marketing, just by having a good product. It's product-led growth. It is what it is, but they're terrible copywriters. With HubSpot, you can have it all. What would I write instead? Okay. What do you have off to the right? We're kind of hitting it this week. So we have some sort of an AI tool. The funnel, sources, tickets closed. You could simplify your marketing. No, maximize your ROI. I mean, delivers ROI in no time. The best ROI in marketing. Again, we could go your best, the best marketer on your team. I like that one. That's a good headline. It works for the other person too, because they're the same. They're competitors. It is what it is. All right, that's what I go with. 2 more, everyone. Let's go to Slack. Again, they have that thing. Have work happen faster, and then we kind of really fast go through everything else where work happens. So they clearly like the same thing. I bet you they used to have a demo video here. You can request a demo, you can get started, but the big thing is that they're going with a silent demo, because again, most people aren't going to turn on their sound, so that has to be why this is happening. It's very visual. You kind of get everything you'd need to in a video. All right, I'm done complaining about other people. Let's write some stuff myself. I'm gonna write 8 subject lines, write 6 landing page headlines, write 4 YouTube headlines, and write 2 offer titles. Okay, here, let me go to the next page, please. Ding. All right, get rid of some of these, huh? All right, so there's a tool that I want you to see called, the DM's DR Handbook. All right. So I have this thing called the DM's DR Handbook, which you can download. I am a Dungeons and Dragons nerd. I know you were blown away by that because of my super calm personality. You thought, no, that would not be like him. Why would he act that way? So I need to go grab some dice really fast that we can do this. But I need to find, basically, you get a D100 and you roll, and there's 2 dice and you add them up, figure out what you want to do. If you want to do this in ChatGPT, you totally can. You can just say, give me a number 1 through 100 and it'll give you something. But basically, this is going to tell me what company I'm writing something for. I can roll out of 100. I can roll out of 20 and say, Why am I writing? What's my message modifier? What's my tone modifier? Should it be funny? Should it be wholesome, inspiring, medium modifier, awareness level modifier? So you can customize everything here. The total permutations in this are over 960 million writing prompts. All right, just because it all kind of randomizes it, you can make a social media post or a VSL or whatever. So this time I'm being pretty clear about what I'm wanting to do. You can also change the target. So I'm gonna roll for these pretty fast. Target by citizenship. So what I need is industry, message, tone, and target. Industry, message, tone, target. All right, give me just a second. I've got this here, so I'm gonna open the DMZR handbook on my other screen so that I can tell what I am rolling for. All right, that's great. So I'm gonna roll for 8 different businesses. Got these nice heavy dice here, these nice heavy metal dice. I'm gonna give them a roll. Again, you can type this into ChatGPT if you're on a big enough nerd to have your own D20. So 78, I'm gonna be writing for Adapt Balance Teas Aptogen-based drinks. Boom. And there's more details at the bottom of this, so there's what I went for. But if I go to, once I get in here, it's numbered, so I can see some more details about them. Down here a little bit lower, 78. So anyways, that's my structure. I'm gonna go ahead and roll 7 more times and get some stuff really quick. Give me just a moment and I'll be back. All right, so I need 8 subject lines. So we have Adapt Balance Teas, adaptogen-based drinks. I don't know, what does that mean? So I'm gonna go up here. They offer herbal teas infused with adaptogens like ashwagandha, ginseng, and reishi to promote relaxation, focus, and overall well-being. Balance in every ship, science-based herbal blends that naturally support stress relief, energy, and immune health. Now, I don't know, because like my thing is I want to do like, I'm a fun guy because it's mushrooms. But I don't know if I'm going to get a funny tone, so I'm going to let the dice do the talking for me, huh? So we're going to go up to tone, because I'm going to get lazy and I'm just going to write funny because that's how I feel like doing it. It's a D20, my bad, not the D100. D20, I got a 10. I could go inspirational teas. Okay. Overall well-being, relaxation, focus, balance in every sip. That's a pretty good one. Science-backed herbal blends. Okay, so here's what I'm working with, and I gotta go for inspirational. So my subject line, it's going to be, I'm thinking like you're hot, 140 degrees hot. I don't know. What is it, like 180 for tea, maybe? 180? There you go. Not quite inspirational. Again, my style is often quite funny or quite serious. So inspirational. All right. Okay. How Taylor transformed her life in 7 days. Inspirational. But is it relaxation, focus on overall well-being? Transformed her life. It's overall well-being. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna leave it. All right. Cryptic Academy, cryptocurrency trading education. So what are we gonna do here? It provides online courses and mentorship programs to teach individuals and businesses how to trade, invest, and navigate the world of cryptocurrency. They use AI-powered market simulations and real-time blockchain analytics to give students hand-on trading experience without risking real money. Oh, that's an easy one. All reward, no risk. Done. I think it's actually a little plain. So I'm going to say now that's a good benefit, but now I want a number in there. It's not specific enough. So I'm going to go like 214 new traders see a improve 214% in 2 weeks. Keyframe Reality, what do they do? Real estate marketing agency. They specialize in digital marketing, video production, and branding for real estate professionals and property developers. They provide high-converting 3D virtual tours and cinematic property showcase videos, helping listings stand out and attract serious buyers faster than traditional marketing. Okay, so my temptation here is actually not to be funny. It's to be a little boring because it's video, or it is video, which could be fun, but it is real estate, which could be a little boring. So we can do 15. What kind of personality do I have today? Oh, great and powerful. 8-ball. I am confident. Okay, appropriate enough for real estate. Thought I might get something interesting. Confident. $25,000 plus or your money back. All right, so now you know what I do. $25,000 or your money back. That's a strong promise. We're good to go. Very confident. Nice and easy. All right, Lingualeap. Language learning apps. What does Lingualeap do? Lingualeap is a language learning platform that uses AI-driven interactive lessons. They feature immersive AI conversations, a chatbot-driven tool that mimics real-world conversations in different languages, help users gain fluency faster through dynamic dialogue. Okay, that's interesting. It's a decent product if it works. Head down here. What is my personality today? 3, fearful. All right. All right, so my angle here is that they're gonna like get attacked in a foreign country. All right, AI is coming for you. Are you ready? Fear. Don't die on your vacation. Avoid this crucial mistake when speaking Spanish. Too long. Avoid this crucial mistake when in Spanish. If you say this wrong, you'll get punched in the face. Okay, one last thing. Don't mess this up or you'll ruin your vacation. There we go. Like that one. Sometimes you have to write a couple of them before you really hit on something. All right, Jack Snacks, baby. What does Jack Snacks do? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a subscription box delivering high-protein, nutrient-dense snacks for fitness enthusiasts. Fuels for gains, not guilt. Oh, that's basically our subject line. Curating delicious, clean ingredient snacks that support muscle recovery, energy levels, and overall taste, health without sacrificing taste. Okay, got a lot of benefits in there. Let's see what our personality is. 15, already did that one. 18, what I get? Relatable. I'm craving carbs, bro. Duckback Digs, premium rain gear. High performance waterproof jackets, pants, and accessories for extreme weather conditions. They offer storm-proof style meets adventure-ready durability, with using advanced waterproof tech and breathable fabric so you stay dry without feeling like you're wrapped in a plastic bag. All right. Give me funny. Dang it. 20. Witty. This is close. All right, witty. Here we go, everyone. Duckback Digs. When to double bag it. All right. And then the preview text is going to say when, and you also have preview text. It's sort of like your subheadline. When you're caught in a downpour, how do you know that your gear, that you have gear that is ready, that your gear is ready to weather the storm? Again, very important to read and to shorten. The Cage Mage. Let's see. Can we get like a flirty? Sly? That's what I'm looking for. Provides coaching and training for aspiring videographers and content creators, focusing on cinematography, editing, and industry techniques. They offer masterful cinematic storytelling, one frame at a time, teaching creatives how to level up their video production skills through hands-on tutorials, gear breakdowns, and expert insights. Okay, what's my personality this time? A number 1. What is that? Funny. Okay, I gotta do it twice. The Cage Mage. Interesting. They offer... Cage Mage provides coaching and training for aspiring videographers, focus on cinematography, editing, and industry techniques. Teach creatives how to level up their video production skills through hands-on tutorials, gear breakdowns, and expert insights. Yeah, funny enough, kind of the same vibe, a little double entendre-y. Let's get handsy. Finally, it's time for some hands-on camera training. All right, let's get handsy. Finally, it's time for some hands-on camera training. Escape Vault Adventures, number 8. What do they do? Escape Vault Adventures creates high-tech escape rooms featuring interactive puzzles, cinematic storytelling, and live-action role-playing events. They promise escape the ordinary, deliver heart-pounding, story-driven experiences where players must think fast, solve puzzles, and work together to escape in time. 18. Did I already do 18? Relatable. I did. 5. Professional, helpful, knowledgeable. Okay. Professional and helpful about an exciting thing. Okay. There you go. How to shave 10 minutes off your escape time. How to shave 10 minutes off your escape time. Good to go. All right, now landing page headlines. I'm gonna pick my 6 favorites here. All right, there we go. Those are my 6. So what's gonna happen now is, imagine this is an email. They get a subject line, they get a thing, they click through, and then they have to go to my landing page. What do I want that landing page to say? Probably not the same thing, but I want it to feel congruent through all of it. So let's write another headline for this page. How Taylor transformed her life in 7 days. Okay, that's a little specific. Let's go up to adaptogen. Balance in every sip. But what we're trying to do is kind of do overall well-being and accomplishment and inspiration. So if we're going for inspiration, what we're going to do instead is we're going to say, Taylor transformed her life in 7 days. We're going to go through the email. It's going to say stuff like, here's what she did. Here's how you can do it too. And I'm going to say, as a headline, how to balance in every sip. But it's inspirational. Your sip to success secret. Cryptic IQ, so we go through, all risk, no reward. We have this thing that does stuff for you, see how it works. So now we say, see how it works. They click through, they're on the landing page. I'm going to say, trading is fast. Cryptic is faster. Subject, learn to trade faster and with less risk with our AI powered simulator. See how important that bottom line is there? That's you should use that to your advantage. Okay. Headline here. So they go through $25,000 of your money back. They explain all the benefits they offer to real estate agencies. And then at the end, the call to action is see who we've worked with, or see the difference we can make in your business. So we say, come there and we say, the headline, we mean business. And then we're going to use some big flashy numbers. We're so confident our videos will increase your sales, your home sale price by $25,000, or we'll give you your money back. Great. No. Better than that. Big attention grabber. We don't want your money. Paradox. We want to help you sell your home faster. And put more money in your pocket, or we'll die trying. Pretty intense there, but it would work, right? And then you'll go in and it'll be a little bit lower. Okay, lingual leap. Don't mess this up or you'll ruin your location or vacation. You hear about how a misunderstanding when you're speaking can cause a problem, but AI lets you really practice compared to most language learning apps. So we're gonna do another try it out. Let's gonna try it out. So that's my call to action, and then on my landing page, we're gonna try it out. We're gonna say, meet John. He won't get mad because we just had like a fear-based angle, right? So he won't get mad. We're gonna relieve it a little bit. He won't get insulted. He just wants to talk to you. Enable your microphone settings, and he will chat with you in Spanish and offer gentle corrections along the way. Easy. And if this was something that was just a landing page, we can get away with that. If we need an H1 that's optimized for SEO, we can say the world's first AI-powered language learning app. It's getting a little busy. It is. I'm craving carbs, bro. You get in, you learn that you can have delicious protein-filled snacks without a bunch of junk in them, without having a bunch of bad carbs. And you say, check out our selection. You go to their most popular chocolate jack snack. It's a bar. So we have chocolate jacked snack bar. Chocolate jack snack bar, and the headline is going to be, what did I say? I think they had some good lines up here. I say they as if I didn't write it. Fuel for gains, not guilt. That's pretty good. I like it. Done. Fuel for gains, not guilt. Jacked snacks are filled with clean ingredients that support muscle recovery, energy levels, and overall health without sacrificing taste. Easy. When to double bag it, and when you're caught in a downpour, how do you know that your gear is ready when the weather is storm? We're going to do a competitive, in the email, we're going to do a competitor comparison where we talk about the waterproof levels. We're going to do a test, and then we're going to get to a landing page. We're going to see the test. And you're going to say, you need, so, because I think that's a little basic, but I want to add one more thing that just kind of enforces why this is so important. You need to trust your gear when you're in the field. Do you trust your jacket has what it takes? All right. You trust your jacket has. All right. That is my new thing there. See how duckback digs lines up against the competition. There we go. Good to go. Water off a duck's back. That's our title. For YouTube headlines. All right, so now I'm going to pick top 6. Here we go. So let's say they're actually clicking through. They're getting in. After they've seen this email, they've gone to the landing page, they've subscribed. No. And anyways, they want to see more. I have an embedded YouTube video, and I hope that they click to see a little bit more information about it. So duckback digs, I think, is a little bit obvious there. So, because I already have a video, so I'm going to keep that one. Jack Snacks, I don't think we need a video there. Lingual Leap, that's a good demonstration one. That's a good video one for keyframe. How trading works, that works well. All of those would do a good video. Duckback digs, I already kind of half did it, so I'm not gonna cheat myself or you. All right, here we go. For YouTube headlines, so we're gonna have how Taylor transformed her life in 7 days. Obviously, we need to think about the image first. So what do I want to do? I want to do a before and after. So image, before and after. These used to be my pants. So she's gonna be holding it, big one, little one. That's the old Subway ad. Okay, here we go. Image, headline. Always think of your image first. Cryptic Academy, all risk, no reward. Yeah, I'm gonna go face like Ali Abdal's. I'm gonna go 0 to $100,000. I'm gonna go specific, $127,000. Headline is how to start trading crypto without risking your life savings. Great benefit without pain and sacrifice, right? 3. Image, headline. We don't want your money. Image. Okay, so what I could do is do a really cheap rundown house and write a really big number under it. I think that would be pretty shocking and kind of create a paradox, a little bit of conflict. Would I be able to back that up though? Probably not. I mean, I'm not going to be able to say that I sold this shack for nothing. If I just do a briefcase with money in it, it's not going to be specific to a house, right? So I need to think of something house related where I can add that value prop of $25,000 in it. They are going to be breaking open a wall with sledgehammer, money inside wall spilling out. And the headline is going to say, we found an extra $25,000 in this house. And you're going to get inside and they're going to have to back it up where they're like, hey, no, we didn't find money in the walls, but we routinely find $25,000 for companies, or we give them their money back. Hit that real fast. Like that's what we do. That's our big benefit. And then go into the explanation and maybe do like a mini doc of something. You have to open loop. If you're going to give away the answer really fast, you have to get an open loop before you resolve that one. So if you're going to open loop it, before you say that, you give the disclaimer of what you mean. Say, most houses have another $25,000 in them or more. I've had this client who did this for $50,000, this client who got this for $60,000. I've got 10 more this year that I've helped that have made an extra 36, right? Like there's a lot of money laying around. No, it's not in your walls, but with the right video, you can easily get people to pay you way more. It's the right positioning for your house. You don't put lipstick on a pig, but you do need to make sure that you're properly presenting your house so that it looks attractive and people see its best qualities and want to buy it. Great. A little chunky, but it is what it is. Finally, Lingual Leap. Image and the Headline. Lingual leap. I think, again, we're going to go with this fear angle. So I'm going to talk about, there's going to be a woman scared in an alleyway. Scary guy behind her. Headline. 5 mistakes to avoid in Mexico on Mexican vacation. In Mexico. What did I say up here? Or ruin your vacation. Don't mess this up or you'll ruin your vacation. Five Spanish mistakes that could get you killed. I may not be able to say that. I might be able to say 5 Spanish mistakes that could get you unalived. There we go. That's our 4. All right, everybody. I think you see when we went through everything how important it is to show off your benefits, how important it is to tailor it to your message, to your tone, and most importantly, to your audience and what they need and what they want, not what you want and what they need. First thing you're going to do is go back to your breakup letter that you wrote first and then you rewrote, and go to the outside of the envelope and think about what your subject line is. Like all the best writers in the past, now we learn on emails because there's not as much direct mail going around, but once upon a time you had to learn on direct mail. Imagine you're putting this under the door or in the door of this girl or guy that you broke up with or broke up with you, did you wrong, did you dirty. What are you going to write on how are you going to design this envelope to get their attention? That is your homework. How do you get them to open it? Pretty easy, pretty simple, but it's not easy. Next, you're going to rewrite all the offer titles, landing page headlines, subject lines, and YouTube's titles written by ChatGPT. Like I said, ChatGPT can kind of suck, and you're better, or you should be if you're charging some money. So you need to create more curiosity and showcase a benefit. So what I have for you, I did the randomizer. You'll do the randomizer in a bit, like in a couple of days, but I wanted you first to go through and improve upon what ChatGPT is doing. So here we go. We've got a couple of offer titles: the 8-week fitness bootcamp, the quick mop for a home good, the easy coffee maker, 3-inch pocket knife, and the TMX 7000 processor. A little boring. Same thing. We got some subject headlines here. Get in shape in 8 weeks. Clean your floors faster with this mop. Make good coffee faster each morning. Not God. You can make God coffee, whatever you want to make. Something sharp for your next trip. And some cool new tech to check out. Landing page headlines: 8-week fitness bootcamp, the quick mop, the easy coffee maker, 3-inch pocket knife, TMX 7000 processor. And the YouTube titles: I tried the 8-week fitness bootcamp. It's not bad, but it could be better. See how clean my kitchen is. My thoughts this morning. Cutting through metal. Playing GTA 6 this morning. Okay, all of these are boring. They don't get any attention. It's your job to go through the principles we learned today and make them better. All right, thank you very much, and we will see you next time. Because next time, instead of talking about getting attention, we're going to talk about keeping it. Remember the flight attendant earlier? She got our attention, but she instantly lost it. Why? She goes, hey, did anyone drop this? And then we realized that she was messing with us because her hook was, did anyone drop this? And then we all looked up, and then she goes, great, thanks for your attention. Now watch the safety videos. We all looked down. It sucked. What did you do? You had our attention. That was 80% of the work, and then you didn't make it relevant to us. You didn't tell a story, right? Her hook had nothing to do with the rest of the story. She hooked us, but she didn't hold us because she didn't tie it to something we cared about. So that is the secret to great copywriting. You need to get attention, but then you need to keep it. You need to tell a story that keeps people engaged. And tomorrow we're going to take a deep dive into exactly that. Thanks, everyone, and see you next time.